two guys we haven't mentioned here. You mentioned Podziemski. He's obviously going to have more competition at some point during this offseason coming in, but Luke Goode as well. I think we all expect Luke Goode to play a much bigger role. If those guys come back, what kind of leap do you think they can make?
It's hard to project, right? Because I think this roster it's so in flux right now. I don't know who's going to be there in June, right? And that goes for a lot of schools in the country right now.
I guess the better question then for me would be, what impact, or like what can they give Illinois? Like, what can they give Illinois in that kind of competition, say with whoever guard comes in, whatever wing comes in?
Yeah, I think I'll start with Luke Goode. I think Luke Goode's, there's no question what he brings from a leadership standpoint. We saw him too. I mean, I already talked about RJ Melendez in that Houston game, but man, Luke Goode kept you in it too. And like I said, similar to Coleman Hawkins in a sense, like, do you ever think that Luke Goode is going to be like your first or second option? No. And that's not a slight on the kid, because there are some guys that can be the reason why you win championships as a fourth option, right? Like, and if you don't have that guy, that's what's beautiful about basketball. If you don't have that guy, you don't win said championship. Because there's a lot of guys, yeah, like exactly. Like, there's a lot of teams that have the first and second guy, but what separates you is, what value does your third, fourth, fifth, sixth guy bring? And I think that's where Luke Goode falls in, wherever he is, 3 through 6, 3 through 7, 4 through 7. He brings so much value at those spots that I think, moving forward, no matter who you bring in, you can always insert a Luke Goode because you know what you're getting, right? You're getting, a pretty proven outside shooter. You're getting a guy that can compete defensively, has length, has size. Podziemski's a little bit more of a curious case because heavily recruited out of high school, prolific scorer in high school, 35 a game. We saw glimpses of that this year. Can he be, your go-to ball handler potentially? I thought he competed defensively as well. He's a guy that wants to get on the floor. So like I said, similar to Goode, whether Podziemski's like a fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh guy, I think he offers a lot of value in those spots, no matter what it is. Even if he's an eighth, ninth guy again next year, if you have injuries, like to be able to insert a guy like Podziemski, as opposed to like going way into guys you never thought would play, that's value right there. Now it just comes down to the kid, right? Like, and if Podziemski stays on board through all this, geez, credit him, because I mean, there's just a lot of kids that, they're heavily recruited. They get an offer from Kansas out of high school, like he did, or, had a lot of different offers. I mean, I think Kentucky offered too, right? I mean, you had a ton of offers. So now it's like, you're not playing as much as you probably thought you would your first year at Illinois. So do you stick it out? And if you do, kudos to you, because there's so much uncertainty no matter where you go at that level. So remains to be seen with him, I think. But man, you certainly don't know. You could try to pencil in a Jaden Epps, pencil in a Sincere Harris, or these guys. You never know until they get to campus. I mean, you really don't. Because like I said, I'll tie it all back to where, when you're the guy in high school, when you're the guy on your AAU team, when you get to campus and you're not that guy, and you don't have the ball in your hands 24/7, how do you react to that? And how does that impact you as a player? And I think that is kind of the avenue for Podziemski, depending on how those guys are impacted. That could be what determines whether or not he, how much he plays.